You must vote in favor of it, okay? You must. So you have to vote.
Hey, so you keep commenting on my comments, so I'm going to make a video and show you exactly why you're wrong. So right here in my hands is the Conservative Policy Declaration. This is available on their website. It is free. You can go there and download it anytime that you like. Let me read you a couple pieces of information from this policy declaration to tell you exactly how you're wrong about what Pierre Poilievre intends to do. So here on page 6, the Conservative Party believes that Parliament, rather than the courts, is the law-making body of Canada. So basically they're saying that Parliament should be able to undo any decisions that the courts make because they're not in charge, he is. Directly under that, on the same page, we reaffirm the legitimacy of the entire Charter of Rights and Freedoms, including Section 33, the notwithstanding clause. Funny how they need to feel the need to put that specifically in the policy declaration. Directly under that, we support legislation to remove authority from the Canadian Human Rights Commission and the Canadian Human Rights Tribunal to regulate, receive, investigate, or adjudicate complaints related to Section 13 of the Canadian Human Rights Act. So basically they're saying they have the ability to remove authority from the Human Rights Commission. So now, if you go back one page to page 5, right at the top, on issues of moral conscience, such as abortion, the definition of marriage, and euthanasia, the Conservative Party acknowledges the diversity of deeply held personal convictions among individual party members and the right of members of Parliament to adopt positions in consultation with their constituents and to vote freely. This means that they actually say that their own members don't have to vote with the party. They can vote however they want. If you look at the voting records of all of the Conservative MPs, all of them have stood against abortion. Quite a few of them have stood against gay marriage. Let's look at another page, shall we? Page 7. It actually says the Conservative Party of Canada will incentivize federal funding to Canadian universities that have implemented Chicago principles. Failure to protect free expression would result in losing federal funding. This is the exact same playbook as the United States. They want to force colleges and universities to teach what they want them to teach and nothing more. And if those colleges and universities go against what they say, they're willing to cut off their funding. Not to mention, on the same page, a Conservative government will restore merit in Canada's innovation by directing hiring practices associated with federal research funding away from ideology, and instead emphasizing first and foremost supporting and retaining Canada's research talent irrespective of personal immutable characteristics. In their minds, ideology is hiring the right person for the job. They think that's an ideology. They think that's wrong. What about protecting workers? Same page. The Conservative Party does not support forced political, cultural, or ideological training of any kind as a precondition of employment or practice. Those employed in the public sector, unions, or self-regulated trades or professions should not be forced to make affirmations or participate in ideological programs as a condition of employment or practice. So what does that mean? If you've worked for a large corporation or business, I'm sure at some point you did WHMIS training or safety training or training about people with disabilities and how to help them better, training about people who maybe have poor hearing and how to help those people, maybe on how to make sure that your business is accessible for wheelchairs, or maybe how your business recognizes the land treaties of the Indigenous people of the land that we live on. Those are all ideological training. And he's willing to just pull that out because it's woke. So you got to ask yourself, where does it stop? If he stops providing these ideological trainings for one thing, he's going to stop it for the rest. And again, on the same page, he wants to protect free speech. And specifically, he says, or they say, we will safeguard Canadians' rights to create and access content on the internet without government-sanctioned censorship and nullify unconstitutional restrictions. So basically what he's saying is that people will be free to spread hate, lies, disinformation, and misinformation without the government stepping in to say something about it. Look at what Fox News is doing in the United States. Fox News deliberately spreads absolute lies on a daily basis, and it created the MAGA crowd. Rebel News, True North, and all those other wannabe journalists, which I won't even call them journalists, they're entertainers, have been spreading lies and falsehoods about vaccines, about science, about climate change, about everything. And those are the people he's trying to protect, because those are the people that support him. He doesn't care about free speech. He doesn't care about what you have to say. If he cared about free speech, he wouldn't care about the people protesting in Palestine. But instead, he wants to throw them all in jail. It's not free speech for all. It's free speech for people that support him, but nobody else. So I pray that this video educates you and actually brings you to an awareness of what the Conservative Party actually stands for. And if it doesn't, then that means you're only making these videos for clicks and likes, and you're absolutely lying through your teeth and you know better. So which is it? Were you just uneducated and I've helped you resolve the situation, or are you just doing it for popularity? Because I'll bet you $10 after I post this video, you'll have me blocked.